You're a burglar, but you only steal things to slightly inconvenience your victims. What are you stealing?
I would steal every measuring cup but the 1/3 one.
The one that nobody ever needs.
Yeah. You use it for one recipe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JG's Lounge. I'm your host, Jukebox. We're back with another episode of Stardom, and I got with me actually one of my first guests when I first started Stardom. We got BigGrizz in the house. Man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's bright and early. I appreciate you coming on today.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you having me on again. It's been a while since we've done this, so I'm ready to have some fun.
I think I've had you on 3 times. One of those times was just you and me, and another 2 we had guests. So this will be nice.
Yep.
You're off today. That's great. I'm off too. I got a few things I got to do, but nothing crazy. So that's nice. How's Minnesota life going?
Well, I mean, Winter finally decided she's gonna hang it up for the year, I think. So
Yeah,
so we're kind of starting to get some of those nice warm days, or what we consider warm days. But what was it last week? We had some more snow flurries and everything like that, so it's still hit and miss, but that's what we sign up for when we live here. So
right. I've told people I could easily do the cold. The heat mess with me. My ginger ass can't handle the heat, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's worse. Actually, what was it, like about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago? We had we hit 90 degrees already for this season, and which is very uncommon for this time of year. But yeah, then just a few days later, it was snowing again. So
oh man, there's one day where it was like -20, and then the next day it was like 40 or 50, and it got up to like 80 over like a 2-day span, and then back down to like 30s. Like, God damn, man.
Yeah,
Make up your mind.
Yeah. We definitely get up into the negative temperatures during the winter and stuff too. But what hurts us the most is when that damn wind blows. Man, that shit is just armor piercing.
Yeah, and it's very open and flat too. So same here, it's the same way here.
Yep.
You're a little further north, but it's the same way here in Kansas.
Yeah.
Do you tan or do you burn?
So I get a nice little crisp going, and then it turns into a nice tan.
Yeah. Mine, I burn really bad, and then I'm usually laying in a bed for about 2 days, and then it peels off, and I'm whiter than I was.
I feel like that's probably like the most common thing I've heard amongst gingers.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, we are mutants. The sun does not like us.
Yeah.
All right. So for today's topic, so you and I, first off, how did you get into Snapchat, man? Like, because you and I, when we first met, it was on Instagram, and now we fucking snap each other all the damn time, usually stupid shit. How long you been on there?
Oh man, I've been on Snapchat for a few years now. I don't know, probably 5-6 years, maybe. I'm not even sure.
Yeah. Who got you on it, or did you just download it?
I got it because of my nieces and nephew, and then I meant for it to just start off as just staying connected with my some of my family and stuff like that, because I don't do like Facebook. I mean, like you said, I do Instagram because of the beard and everything like that. And so I was like, well, I don't do Facebook, and of course everybody does Facebook. Nobody does Instagram. So
Yeah.
So I got it so I could stay connected with my nieces and nephew, for the most part, and some family. And then of course, every Tom, Dick, and Harry within the community who knows you thinks they need to start adding you and stuff like that. And so actually I've decided I've gotten to a point where it's time to purge down a little bit, go through. If I ain't talked to you in a hot minute, or if I ain't talked to you at all on the damn app, I'm gonna delete you.
Right. Oh man, I tried doing. They have a Snapchat Spotlight, right? It's like TikTok and stuff where you can just post shit.
No.
And I've tried it. It's not very good. At least not on my end. It's not very good. So I just quit using it. But my wife was like, "Hey, have you heard of Snapchat? Never heard of it." And she's like, "You should download it, and we can just send each other funny pictures." This is when we first started dating, right?
Funny
I've
pictures.
had funny pictures. And that's literally our form of texting now is Snapchat.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the nice thing with it is obviously, I mean, you can send pictures.
Kimberly said you better not delete her.
Too bad, Kimmy, it's happening. As long as I got Ken. Well, yeah, you can have your conversation and you're not taking up space on your phone or anything like that, you know? So, I mean, I catch a lot of grief for being on there a lot and stuff, and, you know, it's yeah, for those reasons, you know, you're able to save your photos on there, and you're not bogging up a ton of space on your phone or
Mhm.
anything like that, you know? So,
Yeah, it's nice.
yeah.
So I actually was trying to think of a topic for today, so I went with some just some funny ass Snapchats that people have sent to people.
Oh gosh. I hope none of them are mine.
Oh no, no, this is all shit I found online, man. We're good. You're
Well,
good.
you never know. I've got some interesting friends.
I mean, based off the shit we send each other, I mean, some of it's pretty fucking out there. I don't even know if it's some people would probably just not even listen to this episode because it's kind of stupid. But
Well,
whatever.
when we're done and this is no longer live, I'll let you know if any of that's some stupid shit I've done.
Oh well, the whole point is to share it on here. That's the point.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, that's right. Embarrass the shit out of yourself.
All right, first up, it says pain in my car.
Oh, no. Well, first off, bro, why you hauling all that shit when all you needed to do was buy a truck?
Right, or borrow somebody's truck.
Like, that's it. Like even if you're just dragging around that small stuff, get a little Chevy S10 or something, or a Ford Ranger. I mean, a Ford fucking Ranger can haul all that.
Well, yeah, and it's 2 buckets of paint. Like, why the first? I'm
Oh,
curious how the hell they made it do that. Because I mean, if those were full ass buckets, unless
right?
they're driving over some fucking medians, I don't know
Well,
why
that or
the
they're going through like Sam's Club parking lot where you got the speed traps and everything like that.
uh-huh.
Uh-uh. Golly.
I wouldn't even bother fixing that. I would just probably sell the car or something.
That's gonna become that's my primary work vehicle now. Fuck it. All the paint's gonna stay inside there. Nope, I ain't doing nothing with it.
Have you ever spilt shit in your car that you couldn't get out?
Not that I couldn't get out,
Mhm.
but I've spilled before I got the truck that I currently have, I leased a Ford F-150, and literally the morning that I went to go take it back to return it because my lease was up, I spilt an entire cup of hot chocolate on my floorboard.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was so pissed. So pissed. Like I went out because like I'd never leased a vehicle before, you know?
Right?
And so like I was just like, man, like I was very strict about it. Nobody smoked in my truck, nothing. I mean, I don't even know if anybody ate food in my truck. And I mean, when it was time, I went out and I rented a carpet cleaner, and I
Mhm.
carpet cleaned the shit out of the seats, and you know, like I was very into it. Like I'm like, you ain't catching me on no hidden shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then boom, spill a whole cup of fucking hot cocoa on the floor.
Uh,
But I was like,
I
bruh.
I had a U-Haul when actually we moved here, and I was driving for like 19 hours straight, just hauling shit back and forth, and it was one of those 16-inch ones, whatever. But this isn't related to spilling something in the car, but leasing a vehicle or whatever, renting a vehicle. And I fucking like hooked the corner of my grandma's or my mother-in-law's car and ripped her whole fucking headlight off. And it took like a chunk of the U-Haul out. It like bented it backwards. So the next day I had
Oh,
me and like 2 of my new neighbors like help me bend it back in place so I didn't have to fucking pay any more fees. And they
no.
didn't do shit, but it was a pain in the ass.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'd be more upset about your mother-in-law's vehicle. Like,
Yeah, nah, I
yeah,
mean,
because that's the one lady like you're trying to keep happy.
right. She wasn't too bad about it, but I did have to fix it. But that was cheaper than having to fucking pay a U-Haul for some minor ass shit we fucking bent it back into place. So
Right. Oh, that's brutal.
yeah, you've You've moved states, right? Like you lived in Michigan for a little while.
Yeah, I was out in Michigan for a few months or
Are
7 months.
are you from Minnesota? Like
I
born and
am
raised?
born and raised.
Okay. What'd you think of moving to Michigan?
City sucks. I'm not a city boy. I'm a country boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like
I'm
I'm borderline country. I'm definitely not country, but I'm borderline.
I know you're still city slicker. See,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I found funny, so funny about being in the city
Uh,
is so where I live, it was literally, I mean, all you had to do was drive like 5-10 minutes
mm.
to the northwest, and then you're back out in the country. And they're like, oh yeah, no, this ain't city. Yeah, the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Bitch, you live the two counties that border each other are over 2 million people. No, this is country or this is city. This is city living right here. Like,
Yeah.
and then they always referred to it as a village. And I'm like, a village. My hometown is less than 350 people. That's a fucking village.
Yeah.
Not a community with 2 million people.
Uh-huh. And where do you live now? Like how big is the population?
It's about 4,500 people.
Well, still, that's pretty small. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
considering.
Yep. I mean, I'll
Uh,
take it. It's nice, quiet, and I mean, the
yeah.
only thing you hear are tractors
Yeah,
and the rain.
my graduating class was like 1,200 kids. And that
Oh
was
my
one of 5 schools in the city that I lived in. So yeah.
My graduating class, which golly, I'm coming up on 19 years. It'll be this year. I'll be 19 years. I'm on a damn. But my graduating class was the highest in our school. Well, since well, for all, like since they were, school. And then they ended up consolidating and like we were the biggest and it was like 80, I was like say like 85 kids. Yeah. Like
So
that was big.
yeah, no, and that for me, the worst part was going through graduation ceremony
Oh,
because
I
I
bet.
was my last name starts with a C, so I was one of the first ones up, and then I had to sit there for 2 fucking hours while everybody else did their thing.
I mean, I don't even think, no, I know. We didn't even have 1,000 kids in our school. And that included the kindergartners, that were down in the corner of the basement and shit.
Yeah.
Good God. I can only imagine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've lived city my whole life, but I've traveled a lot and I've been to a lot of small towns. My grandpa lived in the country, so I'd go out there during the summers. I've always loved country life, man. But see, my thing is like, if I moved to the country, I'd want to be like 20 minutes away from the city. You
Oh
know?
yeah, a solid half hour for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid half hour for me for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
I mean
like
it
the
was
people who live out there like 3-4 hours out, I don't know how I could do that.
see, and that's where I'm at. I mean, it's the biggest town for me. I mean, if I wanted to go to Walmart, it's at least a 50-minute drive, like
Oh,
in
no
any
shit.
direction, in any direction. I mean, the only things that we have in my town as far as like, like even places to go out to eat, we have a McDonald's, we have a Subway, and we have two local pizza places. Well, you might have heard of Pizza Ranch.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got one of those here, and then we just have just a locally owned pizza place, but they're only open in the evenings. They're not open over lunchtime or anything like that. And then we have a Mexican restaurant. So
Okay.
that's it. Or you got gas station. So take
So
your pick.
in school, like, did you guys meet up at the McDonald's to hang out?
No, we hung out on Main Street. Like you go down like our main street boulevard and stuff, and yeah, we just chill out there. Park in the center, you had center parking and stuff. You just sit there and then you just get out and just, lean up against your vehicles and just shoot the shit.
Okay.
So until the cops came up and kicked you off because it was too late.
Yeah, it sounds like small town living.
Oh yeah. Yep. I remember one time though, this was like right after I got my license. I had my dad's truck and I'm going down Main Street, and I don't know, it's probably like 6-8 blocks long.
Yeah.
And I had my buddy was behind me, you know, and all we would do is we would just pound laps. So you'd go down, you'd turn around, you'd come back. And, you know, it's like NASCAR, but you're just on Main Street.
He says no
And
pizza delivery. You can't.
yeah, I mean, we have some pizza delivery, but I'm not a big pizza person, so I stay away from it. But so I'm going down Main Street, literally 3 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, Zell. And I get down to the end and I turn around, I start coming back. And it was me, my buddy, and a cop.
In your vehicle?
He put his window down and he just, come here. So I pulled in and he come and he talked to me and everything like that. And again, you know, small community and stuff, you know, I mean, everybody knows everybody. So,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, so he knew me. We just sat and he's just like, yeah, bro, you can't do that. I'm just like, fair enough. He goes, all right, I'm just going to give you a warning today. I'm like, thank you, buddy.
That's gotta be a benefit that you don't get in the city, man. Just knowing everybody in case something comes up.
I mean, you know, I mean, it's nice, but yet it's also a pain in the ass because, you know, I was just having this conversation with somebody here the other day. I mean, everybody feels like they need to be in your shit though, too. You know, it's like, yeah, you get that nice, you know, connection with everybody, and you for the most part, I mean, you have that comfort of, you know, yeah, knowing everybody and knowing people are gonna, you know, have your back. Or, you know, like when I had my house before I moved, you know, like if I wanted to, you know, leave for a while, I knew my neighbors were gonna, you know, report something if something was wrong, you
Right.
know. But yeah, but then you got the flip of it, and everybody needs to be in your shit. You know,
Yep.
they just it doesn't matter, you
Mhm.
know.
That's,
So
I mean, I feel like that's anywhere, even in the big city. But like you move into neighborhoods and you've been there long enough, then your neighborhood's talking shit. There's an app called Nextdoor. Have you heard of it?
no.
And it's basically you put in your zip code or your city community or whatever, and then anybody who's in that area that's on the app, they'll talk shit like, oh my god, this person put their trash out a day early,
Oh
or
my
they
gosh.
parked over the sidewalk and they're all pissed off about talking about reporting it to the cops because like here you're not supposed to block the sidewalks. It's just stupid shit, man.
Oh god, petty people.
Petty, so petty,
Golly.
man. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
This is why landlords demand a security deposit. If you look close here, that's a lid to a pot.
I mean, like, there's so many questions to this. Like, first off, like,
Stormy says, just tuned in, but sounds kind of like where I grew up. My graduating class had 25 people in it. No pizza delivery either.
yeah, yep. I mean, is that just like, did you just get done eating Taco Bell? Like,
Well,
first and foremost, like, I ain't even concerned about that lid at this point. Like, did you just eat Taco Bell? You know,
you're taking this a whole different direction, man.
I mean,
it does. I mean, I see what you're saying, though.
I can handle a patch job, but anything that requires a hazmat suit, no, I'm done.
I was thinking it was something like chili that exploded, but I don't know.
I mean,
I actually have a relatable story to this, though.
I'm hoping that's just chili. Like, I'm just hoping that's chili.
So
wow.
We had you ever use a pressure cooker?
Yep.
We were doing a rotisserie in the pressure cooker, and there's a vent on top of the pressure cookers to release the steam.
Yep.
Well, this one was faulty, so it said it was done, and I went to take the lid off, and the pressure from the cooker, like, shot the damn thing up through our ceiling. The rotisserie just obliterated all over the walls.
Oh.
I like burnt my arm all up, dude. It was not fun.
That had to hurt like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, man. It was not.
Oh man.
And it was so funny because I never would have expected that. Like, who'd expect that to happen, right?
Right. Right. I won. Damn.
Craziest shit ever, man. I mean,
That's
it definitely. I don't think I've used a pressure cooker since then.
I was gonna say, man, that's like learning to let your vehicle cool down before you open up the radiator cap.
Oh yeah, so many people don't do that.
You do that once, you ain't making that same mistake again.
That's so true, though.
Never again. Nope.
Have you ever had any cooking fails?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
like
I've
memorable ones that are just you can't forget because they're so
um
fucked up?
I mean, you can always go to the classics, grilling stories
Yeah.
where, you have your meat on the grill, you run inside quick to grab something else and you come back and I mean it's just charred because of
Yes.
the grease catching fire and everything like that. But
Mhm.
I mean I come from the old school days where you just had like a little spray bottle next to the grill. So you just sit there and spray the water or the fire when it gets too high and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I mean I've had, chilies burned to the bottom of the pan. And literally, when I say burn to the bottom of the pan, I mean like you throw the fucking pan out.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, been there. Definitely been there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny you talk about grilling. For me, and we're here in the Midwest, obviously, we love grilling. Um,
Hmm.
when you smoke, do you like to use like those newer Traeger grills where it's like you just set the thing, or do you like the old school charcoal?
So when I had my house, my aunt and uncle gave me. Well, they had bought a Pit Boss a wood pellet smoker for one of my cousins. Well, at his apartment, um, he didn't have a balcony or anything like that to store it on, so he couldn't take it. So they gave it to me. I use it. It's okay. My favorite way of doing something is on the charcoal grill.
Yeah, same here.
Um, you just even if you just take the charcoal and push it off to one side
Mhm.
and just cook on the other side and get all that smoke and everything like that. That's it, the best brisket I've ever made was on a charcoal grill. And I
Mhm.
mean, I had that bitch on there for 7 hours, the juiciest meat I ever had. And even like 5 hours later, I mean, you have it sitting in the roaster and you go back and you just take a chunk out and it's so juicy. Best
Right.
cooking I've ever done.
Oh
Best
yeah.
cooking I've ever done.
I like to tell people that if you're gonna smoke meat, only smoke the meat for like 2 to 3 hours and then just use the heat. Like I feel like if you do too much smoke, it takes away from the flavor of the meat.
Oh man, no
No,
way.
so yeah,
Nope.
see, I
Put it
only
on
do
there
it
as
for like
long as you want.
2 or 3 hours, and then the rest of it's just the heat, man. For me, at least.
Hey, but that's the thing. Everybody has their own preference.
Yep, you're right. You are
And if
right,
you're
and I
cooking,
don't hate it. I'll eat it. Don't get me wrong.
right. And if you're the one cooking it, then I mean if other people don't like it that way, tough shit, don't eat my food.
That's just like this show. If you don't like what I'm talking about, get the
Get the
fuck out
fuck
of here.
out.
You're not hurting my feelings.
Right?
You're
Right?
not. There's so many
I mean,
fucking
I might
podcasts.
not sleep tonight, but
Yeah.
I mean, at least I know Dylan's sleeping good tonight.
Hey, does the number 94 mean anything to you? If you think in 94, does it mean anything?
Not that I know of.
Well, you are my 94th episode today,
Oh,
so
snap.
there's that. There's something to relate to.
Well,
So,
now it means something. Now it
uh,
means something.
the only relation that I can make with 94 would be that I was in first grade in 1994, and I got left at the zoo by my school. Yes, and like they had like parent guardians or whatever that did little groups. And the
Yeah.
parent totally just fucking lost me, and they went back to the school, and then, like, it was, like, 6 in the evening when my parents came and got me.
Oh my gosh. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're having a fucking heyday because you're at the zoo.
I was actually, like, lost in, like, a gorilla exhibit, and,
Oh,
like,
even better.
yeah, a janitor found me. I don't remember being upset. I just remember being lost.
Holy Jesus. Now
Uh,
nowadays mothers would just flip their
oh,
shit on
yeah.
something like that.
No, most likely you'd be hooked up to a leash, and your mom's holding you, and
Yep.
that's so fucking
Oh
I mean, I don't get that
man.
either, but yeah, it was, I mean, obviously, I still remember that. I feel like a lot of your childhood stuff, like especially at that young of an age, it's only the stuff like that that you remember.
Well, see, I mean, you bring up the zoo and in early age at a zoo. I'm gonna flip it and say, for our senior class trip, we went to the Omaha Zoo, and obviously you know
Yeah.
about the Omaha Zoo, and two of my buddies needed to go use the bathroom, and they're sitting in the stalls taking shits, and all of a sudden they said, all of a sudden this little kid, probably about the age of you when you got fucking lost, and just starts shaking on the door. He's like, "I gotta go bad," and so my buddies are like, "Calm down, just let us finish, whatever." Stop. Next thing, the kid starts crawling underneath the stall. And my buddy's like, I'm sitting there taking a shit. All of a sudden, this little kid like comes in. He's like, hurry up, I gotta go bad.
Like that's gonna make a difference. Like I'm taking a shit, man. You're gonna have to wait.
Oh yeah, no, my buddy took a solid 15-minute shit every time, at least minimum 15 minutes. You knew it. Like
it's funny because in back then there weren't phones, so
right.
I mean there was no like it doesn't make any difference now to then. I mean, I take a long time. I take 10 to 15 minutes usually to poop. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's
Whether there's a phone or not, I can sit there and like look at designs on the wall.
I'll count the little speckles in the floor if I need to.
Yeah. Oh, I've done
Count
it.
the holes in the
Especially
ceiling.
restaurants, totally done it. Just
Oh,
sit there and
yeah.
look like the patterns on the wall. And be like, oh, that looks like that.
Well, I mean, you put me in a restaurant or something. I mean, odds are I'm probably gonna sit there and just like look at the stall and be like, should I call that number or not? For a good time, call Kimberly.
All right, man. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Says looks like someone put too much soap in the washing machine.
Oh, like again. See, this is what I love. This is what I love the most about your podcast. Like you find all this crazy shit that's actually happened, and you're just like on everything. You're like, I have so many fucking questions.
Yeah.
What? What?
That's Like, I'm curious as to what would cause. Like, there's no way that you just dumped a whole fucking like gallon of dish detergent.
See,
in there.
I look at this and I say, I don't think that's just like a gallon. Like, I feel like that's a full case full of soap put in the wash machine. Like,
the only thing that I've done that would be even closely related to this is there's a lot of rich neighborhoods in certain parts of the city, and like we as in high school we'd go buy like cheap detergent, and we'd go to those rich neighborhoods, and like at the beginning of the communities they'd have like the sign of the development area, and then like they'd have fountains, and we would just dump these fucking gallons of soap into their little ponds and drive by 30 minutes later, and it'd be like that just all over the street.
oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And of course it was mindless fun, but still, I mean, I'm sure it pissed off some people.
Well, it was harmless fun. And again,
Yes.
Today and age, man, you'd be sitting with so many fucking charges.
Yes.
For what? For what? Why can't you laugh at that? Like, I mean, like, even if that, like, if this is my house and I open up my door and all that soap comes running out, I'm just gonna laugh. Like, why?
At least it's
like,
soap and not fire.
Exactly. I mean, let's be real. I don't have to mop now. I don't even have to dust. Like,
Right. It did all the work.
My whole cleaning is done for the week.
Just take a shot.
If anything,
stop back everything out of there.
Exactly. I'm gonna grab my lawn chair. I'm gonna mix me a few drinks. I'm gonna kick my feet up, and I'm just gonna watch those bubbles fucking disintegrate.
That's good.
I mean, I might get the grill out and grill some hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that.
Wave at the neighbors as they come by.
Absolutely. I mean, hey neighbor, come on over.
You want some meat? You just got to brush the soap off of it. That's all.
I'm just doing my weekly cleaning.
I mean, that's just an insane amount of soap, man. That's
oh man.
I can't determine. Like, would you think that's got to be a washer situation, not like a dishwasher? Because I don't see a dishwasher doing that.
Well, see, man, yeah. Like again, like that's another one of the questions. Like, where did you just put all that soap? Like, what?
Yeah, it's
like, see, now, like, that makes me want to like go like find some shitty old beat up washer that's just going to get thrown out, plug it in outside, and just take a full gallon of the cheapest laundry soap you can find and just
Just
see
to
what it
test it.
does.
Just test it out.
Yeah. And then when you're done, just fill it. See, this is where I'm a country boy, and I definitely don't fit in the city. Then when I'm done with it, I'm gonna fill it full of tannerite, and I'm gonna blast the shit out of it and watch it explode.
Oh, that's good, man. Take a gun, just start shooting at it.
One shot. That's all you need. One shot.
I used to live in like a duplex community or neighborhood, and there were these foreign. I'm not going to say who they were or what, and they would take their lawn, they would take their couches and their sofas, and they would put them in the front yard whenever they had parties.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's a funny shit. You go hang out, and it's literally their living room was in the front yard.
I love it. Well, I mean, it's an open invite then. Like, again, I'm gonna walk inside my place. I'm gonna pour me a drink. I'm gonna go over. Hey, give me some of whatever you got on the grill.
Yeah.
Give me some of that barbecue.
Bring some brats over. Say, hey, throw this on there.
That's right. Damn right. Open invite.
You ready for the next one, man?
Yes, sir.
All right. Says, got a sandwich stuck in the vending machine. Bought a drink to push the sandwich. Damn. Oh, man.
So, funny story for me.
Okay. Bring it on.
When I was 16, I worked after school at my high school with the custodians. And after so long, school becomes empty.
Mm-hmm.
You know where your coworkers are. I found out how to maneuver my hand up into the vending machine so I could get a free Gatorade whenever I wanted. So I would, when I'm working, I would go make sure nobody was around me. I knew everybody else was on the other side of the school, and I'd go by and I just pop my hand in there and free Gatorade.
That's awesome.
So I would never run into that problem,
right?
Or
yourself.
Yeah, or you would get sent to the principal's office, which I did very frequently early on in my high school days, and they would have you sit in this little, I don't know, it was probably like a 10 by 10 room or something. And it was where they stored their candy and their pop for the vending machines. I think one day, I walked out of there with 20 cans of pop in my book bag and a ton of candy bars, candy just in general. And I never got caught. I literally gave pop to everybody on the bus. I gave everybody candy on the bus. It was a good old time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whoever says getting into trouble isn't worth it, sometimes it is.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It's so true. And see, for me, that reminds me of a story. When I was my very first job, I mowed yards and stuff, but my first job was I got hired at this auction place. I was like 13 years old, down the street, and they paid me $10 for 2 hours, and I had to help them unload everything and set it up for the auction. And then I'd put everything back, and they'd let me grab shit, and then I got free concessions. So
nice.
I mean, it was, and dude, I would take all sorts of candy bars and sodas, kind of like you, and I would just fucking pocket them and take them home with me. I wouldn't even eat them until later on or whatever.
Well, that was the messed up thing with the school, though. Is like you're in school suspension. Like, why are you letting me bring my entire fucking duffel bag into this room that you're storing all this stuff in? I'm a kid. And like it was funny because like literally the room right next to me was the principal's office.
Did you ever
high risk was totally worth the reward.
when you were in high school, did you have you ever smoked weed or anything?
No.
Good for you.
I was a good boy.
Except for the stealing shit, other than that.
Well, so here's a funny story. My younger brother's a pretty big pothead.
Yeah.
And so him and his friends used to grow their own shit, and he had a gallon bag filled with weed, and he hid it underneath the dresser. And one of my best friends from high school came over. We were going to go out and do a bunch of shit. We went, stole some of their weed, sold it to his friend, and his friend's like, man, that's some of the best weed I've ever had. We ended up telling him, like, years later, I'm like, yeah, remember that weed that you bought from us that was so good? Yeah. Yeah, that was your guys' shit. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. We know what our shit tastes or was like. I'm like, dude, that shit was your weed. We took it from my brother's gallon baggie underneath the dresser and sold it to you.
We had a blind kid in high school, and he donated his eyes, right? So he had like those fake eyes, and he would store weed in his eyes. He was one of the sellers in school, and he would store bags in his because he could pop them out and take the.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's clever.
That guy's going places. I mean, it might be jail, but he's going places.
I mean, if you can't see where you're at, I guess, is what it is.
That's right. I mean, for all he's concerned, I mean, he might be in Walmart.
Probably same atmosphere, at least.
Exactly.
Every time I go into Walmart, and I go in there often, I'm not going to say I don't shop there. There's never a time I've been there and haven't seen somebody or something ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially if you go like wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
Have you ever gone to parties and you're like the DD?
Yep.
And so you're sober and everybody else is getting trashed, and you're just kind of visualizing how stupid everybody is. I have that same mindset when I'm sober walking into a Walmart.
Actually, speaking of that, I had a situation when I was in high school again. I can't remember if I was a sophomore or a junior, but kid that rode the bus with me, his parents were in Hawaii on vacation. His sister came home from college for the weekend, threw this massive party out at their farm, and it was only like a few miles from my place. And so I took my friends out there and everything like that, and I was the DD and everything. All of a sudden, cops just came and busted it. I don't got nothing to run from. Like, yeah, I'm good. So yeah, so I don't even know how many officers they had out there and stuff, but they thought that I was so cocky because I was waiting to take a breathalyzer. Like, I blew up clean.
Yeah.
And so he's like, the deputy that was doing the breathalyzer was a complete dick. He's like, all right, get outside. Motherfucker, this is December, So, okay, whatever. So I go start looking for my shoes, find one of my shoes. Can't find the other one. I'm like, sir, I can't find my other shoe. He's like, I told you to get outside. I'm like, okay. Well, of course, naturally, the shoe that I can find is the one that is literally ripped from toe to about halfway down your foot.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I go outside, sit up on the ledge of the deck and everything like that, and I take my one foot and just like slide it in my shoe just to at least keep part of my foot warm. And our math teacher's husband was a cop, and he looks over him and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I can't find my other shoe." I said, "And this deputy inside told me to come outside." He goes, "Get inside." So I go back inside. That deputy turns around. He's like, "I thought I told you to get outside." I'm like, "You go talk to Officer Whitehead over here." So he's like, "All right, sit right here and don't say a word." So I sat there and I watched so many people get breathalyzed. I had a kid in my class ended up blowing like 0.24. He's walking around the house. He come walking from like the dining room into the kitchen where they were doing the breathalyzers. And he's just like, he was so dumb, so fucked up. He's handing out pennies to people. He's like, put these in your mouth, put these in your mouth. And then he comes walking into the kitchen. He's like, fuck the police.
That's good. Oh,
Oh,
man.
man. 54 minors given out that night.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God. I had another high school buddy. They ended up going into the basement, locking the door, because back then you latched it from the inside. You had one of those little locks that you just put in.
Right.
And sat down there, was going to try, him and a couple other people were going to crawl out of the basement to go run.
Right.
And open up the window. He slides out. One of the deputies shines his flashlight on him. He's like, Haken, get your ass back down there. Went back down in the basement, sat down there for over 2 hours, blew clean. He's like, they're like, well, why were you hiding? I was scared.
I mean, when they come barging in, though, man. I mean, yeah, sometimes it scares people.
Oh man, yeah, it was so fun though. Just being the sober person there, just watching everybody scatter.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was so much fun.
Well, I know it's only been 40 minutes, but I think we're gonna have to wrap this episode up, mostly because I gotta go drop a deuce again. It's from that Taco Bell I ate last night, which wasn't that, but I ate First off, if you're gonna eat spicy Asian food, be prepared.
Always, absolutely, always be prepared. Asian, Thai. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still got a good solid 40 minutes in here of some good content, man, which is always fun. And having you on, dude, obviously you'll be on again, so I'm not too worried about it.
For sure. I appreciate it again, buddy. Yeah,
man. And then we'll be in touch. To everybody that's jumped on today, I appreciate you coming in the live chat. You can check out Grizz on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Like he was saying, and don't bother a Snapchat; I'll just delete you. So,
well, I mean, if you don't talk to me,
that's true. Oh yeah, you gotta communicate, man.
That's what I'm actually gonna do now. You're gonna go take a shit, and I'm gonna purge.
Right on, man. Hey, we'll be in touch. All right.
All right, later, buddy. Appreciate it.
Later.